Yo, this your man Mace. I'm in the building, and so are you. A couple of minutes, not even really a couple, probably about 45 seconds. We'll get this thing started. Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? This your man Mace right here in the Macement. We live, and you knew we were gonna do it, so we went ahead and did it. I certainly appreciate everybody spending a little bit of time with me tonight. Before I get kicked off, I want to do a couple things that I promised some people over the past week that I do for them. First of all, my barber, Mr. Benny Weathers, Masters Touch Barbershop, 716 East 10th Street in Jeffersonville, Indiana, 810-920-0492. Hey, I convinced him to give $5 off for any new customers that say they saw this live. So go ahead and put that little extra $5 or something else different. Go visit Benny. If you're driving through Indiana and you and you want to pay him a visit, just tell him I sent you, man. He'll make sure he take care of you. Super fantastic guy. I left his number right there. You can reach back and look at that here in the future if you need to. Thanks, Benny, over at Masters Touch, Jeffersonville, Indiana. Secondly, hey, so tonight I'm wearing a pink tie. And I didn't tell my friend I'd do this, but it's super important to me. My very, very dear friend, Rebecca Casellas, we all lost a very, very wonderful person to cancer last year. And we're all growing a little bit smarter and stronger about what we do in order to take care of ourselves and take care of our family. So I think it's super important that the first show I do, among many that will come, that I dedicate to Rebecca Casellas. I love you dearly. You're my sister in heaven. You've always encouraged me to do so much, and I can hear you right now. Demetrius, look at Mason. He's on Facebook. You know, screaming. And I'm just in love with your spirit. Thank you so much for always being there for me. So let's keep this rolling. First of all, you can find this video right here on YouTube, Macement Talks, on YouTube.com. Go ahead and get that done. When you get a chance, like and subscribe to that. So, hey, here's how this thing is going. What we're talking about tonight is personal conviction. And when I say personal conviction, what I really mean is what it actually takes in order for people to be successful. And more than anything, the encouragement that's required. So I thought about the hardest person to convince that they can actually do well. And that, of course, is yourself. That personal conviction is what really holds a lot of people back from doing as well as they could do. But some people aren't familiar with the term. I mean, what is personal conviction? Well, I threw it up on the screen here. Personal convictions are important because they determine the path each one of us will take to guide us in our lives. And what I think that means is the personal convictions that we have, no matter how many people encourage you and they say, hey, good job, keep up the good work, man, you're doing real well. Oh, man, you can do everything. I can't even tell you how many people said that to me. And it wasn't until I actually believed it myself, overwhelmingly convinced that I was good enough to give it a shot. I was good enough that I could get it done. I just had to put some effort into it. It wasn't until then that I actually began to see the results of all of the hard work that I put in. So I want you to think about the word personal convictions, how that plays a role in your life. And what happens if you don't have a personal conviction? You spend a lot of time educating yourself and encouraging yourself, but the lack of those personal convictions, they lead to indecisive living and a lack of discipline. What does that mean? That means that when you get up in the morning and you can't decide if you want to wear a red shirt or a blue shirt or a pink tie or black tie, or if you want to go drive your car, or if you want to catch the bus, if you want to take this new job or not take this new job, if you want to even apply for the new job or not apply for the new job, that all boils down to you not having a personal conviction that you're good enough and that you've done enough work in order for you to be successful. That's the hardest part. And as we start moving forward, talking about, setting goals, we got to talk about why is it so easy to give up? I mean, why is quitting so easy? I mean, you would think that giving up and is the easy part. Quite frankly, in my opinion, what we're really doing is that we're abandoning everything we've done so far that would actually make us successful and deciding not to use any talent that we've developed and take a harder route in order to try to achieve some of the same things. I mean, wouldn't you say that sounds a little bit ridiculous? Because I certainly would. And I find it hard to believe that if you practice giving up, that anything's ever going to come to you easy anyway. Because you make everything else in your life a little bit harder because you attempt to take the easy route. My friends, I'm here to tell you that when I first started my job that I do now, I'm a sales manager at a Kia dealership out in Louisville, Kentucky. Shout out to Kia Store East, 502-425-1234. I know they're going to love me for that. But when I first started my job, and this is a little personal, but I don't care. I want you to know how personal and how important I think this stuff is. I'm going to try to get into my groove because I think I'm a little bit nervous, but who cares? The fact of the matter is that when I first started my job, I was about a month into it. And I got a good GM and I got a good GSM. But I came from a job that I had a lot of confidence in myself. And I started a new job. And I called my dad one day. I said, Dad, I don't know, man. I don't think this is the right job for me. I ain't quite sure why not, but it's just, I don't feel like I'm making a difference at work. I don't feel like I know enough. I don't feel like people know enough about me. I don't feel like that I can contribute enough to help anybody here. And my dad kind of chuckled and said, sounds like you're growing. And I was like, what? He said, yeah, man. I mean, if you got to work and everything was okay and everything was easy and you knew everything when you got there, I mean, what would you learn? How would you get any better? How would the job ever benefit you and your family if you never got a chance to struggle a little bit? So giving up is easy because we're often offered that as a viable solution to never having to really hold ourselves accountable to being successful. So that's what makes giving up so easy. But my friends, let me explain something to you. Giving up is the hardest thing you'll ever have to do. Because I promise you, just as soon as you give up on you, you will make every other thing in your life that much more difficult. Let's keep moving right along. We talked about giving up. As we continue to give up or not give up, I want to remind you that there is no prize in finding fault. Many times we go throughout our lives and, why we don't hit our goals or why we don't do things that make us happy or whatever it be is we start pointing fingers and we start talking about everybody else and why things ain't right. And my boss didn't do this. And if this would have happened, then that, if I would have just had a chance and if somebody would have just gave me an opportunity, but there's no prize in finding fault. Have you ever solved a problem by finding out who did it? You only found out who did it. So what? Problem's still not solved. You're still in the same situation. It's like erasing pain and not fixing the problem. The problem is still there. The pain will be back just as soon as the medicine wears off. So I want you to remember to stop looking for people to blame. And when you grab ownership for your own situation, and I hated that word. When I was in the Marine Corps, I had a colonel tell me one time, hey, Gunny, you just need to own it. Own it. Man, that ain't mine, man. That was somebody else. No, it's yours. It's you. And when I had to look myself in the mirror and say, you know what? You're right, sir. It is me. And I got a plan to fix that. And I'm going to fix it. And I did. And things worked out well. So I want to remind you that there is no prize in finding fault. But when you get to the point where, you are trying to figure out, once you accept the fact that it is your fault, you say, yep, I did it. Here's what we do next. Let's go back to how did I determine my goals? What was it that I actually wanted to achieve? I said I wanted this. Why did I want it? I mean, did I actually take a real path to figuring out, hey, look, this is how I want to get just stuff accomplished. Draw me an outline, put some stuff up on the wall, say, hey, I want to get these things done. These things done. This is how I'm going to get it done. This is why I want to get it done. And if you didn't do those things from the very beginning, the root of the problem is you're planning to be successful. And as you move forward, what you understand is that the fruit is only an example of the root. and you can't have one without the other. So I encourage you that you have to remember that when you determine your goals from the very beginning, they have to make sense. When you feel like failing, though, you got to remember that why. Back when I used to send kids down to boot camp, I was a Marine Corps recruiter, a Marine on recruiting duty, as we say. Back then, the thing that we used to do, we used to have each recruit write down why I joined the Marine Corps. That's a huge commitment. Imagine being 17 years old. Your parents have essentially signed you away or signed your life away. You know, my parents did it for me. Ain't no big deal. But you imagine being 17 years old, and now you've signed up to defend this great country, and you have really no real idea about what it's going to, cost you or going to, require from you. When we get down to recruit training and things get hard, you have to remember why you decided to join. You have to remember why you decided that those goals were important to you. And if you can't remember why you decided they're important, you never really set them. You were never really convinced that you could achieve them, and you just wrote something down because somebody at work had told you, hey, today we're going to set goals for this month, or next month we're going to set goals, or hey, it's the beginning of the year, let's start a new goal. And you're doing a check in the box mentality, which is never going to serve you well, because you don't have the personal conviction that you can achieve them. You don't even care if you achieve them. And that makes it very difficult to ever develop any sense of pride in yourself, in your organization, in your family, the people who you are supposed to be held accountable to achieving those goals. I'm going to try not to scream at you too much tonight. Last time I did that, y'all liked it a little bit, but I'm going to try not to scream at you tonight, but I'm absolutely passionate about the fact that, knowing why you achieve your goals and asking yourself, hey, did my focus change? Did something change in my focus that requires me to do something different? And sometimes things do change. Life changes. And sometimes your focus changes. And when your focus changes, you may have to go back to, okay, what was important then? Okay, now I know what's important now. All right, cool. I need to readjust this goal, and now I can move forward. It's not supposed to be easy, though. It's not easy to be the best you. It takes a vision and years of excessive effort. I didn't put that word in there. I put active effort, but excessive effort, way more than what's required. Grant Cardone wrote a book talking about the 10X rule. And essentially, whatever it takes you to do one thing, if you want to continue to do that, or you got to do it 10 times, and you got to work 10 times as hard to reach the same goal. And if you do that, you'll never run out of being successful, or you never have a chance of missing your goal. And I think it's important. Thank you so much. Hold on one second. I'm gonna take a quick break. Boom. I think once you start to believe yourself, then you can set attainable goals. Okay. That's right. Write it down in intent. Fantastic. All right. So I'm gonna address those in 1 second. I got to switch back and forth. But anyway, so the fact that it's not supposed to be easy means that if life was just as easy and achieving your goals as easy as just walking in and just bam, I'm doing. I mean, that's lotto stuff. And if you don't play the lotto, you ain't gonna win. But even if you do play, the chances of you winning are next to impossible. But somebody has to win eventually. And if you don't have some type of crazy luck, some halo on your head, and everything just goes your way, and you're just guided, and you can walk around blind, and everything just works, and everything you touch turns to gold, then I can show you, not assure you, I can tell you that it's very highly unlikely that you're going to hit those goals. All right, so I'm going to roll to the comments real quick, and we're going to talk about these for a second here. Amy said, boom, throw it up. Amy, thank you, Amy, so much. I appreciate that. Amy has a phenomenal story. She's a part of the 90 Days of Discipline. She joined the group yesterday or the day before, and I did as well. I joined 2 days ago or 3 days ago or so, and we are in this thing together. We're going to hook and jab, and I'm so glad that you're here. I'm going to interview Amy here probably in the next week or so about her story, about her fitness goals, and some things she's done for herself, and the reason why she actually decided to make a difference in her life. Mr. Austin, I think once you start believing yourself, then you can attain. Yeah, absolutely, man. So if when you believe in yourself, you set goals, your goals are probably going to be unreasonable. Unreasonable. No, I'm asking a lot of myself because a lot of people are asking a lot of me too. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with setting some unreasonable goals. Now, attainable, the word attainable means that you know that you can get them done because you have the people, the materials, and the resources in order to get them done. There's no doubt in your mind that the only thing it takes is you plugging yourself in, your attitude, your focus, and to having all those resources available, then you get it. Well, man, Tim Harrison, fellow salesman at Kia Store, Eastside, Louisville, Kentucky. It's all talking until put it on paper. Write it down. Absolutely, man. It's kind of one of the messages that I also wanted to pass, Tim, is that, you know what? If you don't write it down, make it real to yourself. Say it out loud. Put it up on a board. You know, build you a vision board. Put it down. Put it in writing. Make it a matter of record. This is what I said I would do. This is when I said I would do it. Then you're absolutely right, Tim. It is all talk. It is all talk. And there are plenty of people who are going to talk, and there are plenty of people who are going to do. And those talkers will still be talking about the people doing for a long, long time. So if you just a talker, keep talking. If you a doer, be a doer. And if you're a talker who want to be a doer, get doing. I couldn't say that twice if I tried. Glad all y'all laugh. Keep rolling. Intent. Absolutely. Christina Freire. Hey, so this young lady right here is pretty motivating to me. Christina Freire is a young lady who came to me as a sales associate when I was selling cars on Dixie Highway. And she really didn't have a whole lot of sales experience, any for that matter. She was trying to figure it all out. And what she found out is that when she started putting more focus into herself and believing in herself and seeing things, imagining herself successful, and after countless hours and days of us going back and forth and talking and counseling and working and you know, and personal testimonies of her life and my life and all these things that have happened for us, she found a way to win. She went from being the bottom salesperson to the top salesperson over and over and over again. I'm super proud of her. You're absolutely right. Intent. You have to imagine yourself successful. You got to narrow your focus. You absolutely got to train your mind. You got to energize your body, and you got to time yourself. Without a shadow of a doubt, that'll get you there every single time. I'm excited too. Let's keep this thing right on moving. So, we talk about those goals, you know, and we talk about SMART goals. I was trying to put up a link to a SMART goal, but if you just Google if you just Google SMART goals, then what it'll talk about is SMART goals. They are specific, they are measurable, they are attainable, they are relevant. Meaning you set a goal for a reason. I mean, there's no sense in setting a goal. I'm gonna sell one more car. What would you do with selling one more car? That's not gonna make a difference in your life. Don't be silly. All right, set a reasonable goal. I want to sell 5 more cars per month so that I can save more money for my family or send a kid to college or whatever it may be. And then, of course, they have to be time bound. You got to put some time around them. So the way I look at SMART goals with intent, here's how I see this. I see SMART goals as the what, and the intent is the how. How do I actually achieve these goals? Because setting goals is fantastic. Writing them down, fantastic. But now it's time to execute, baby. Now it's time to get it on. Now it's time to put some of this stuff, put the pedal to the metal. You know, where the rubber meets the road, I'm telling you that if you can't put that rubber to the road, then you're a beautiful writer. Start writing poems about how successful you would be if you would have. All right. Like many people who fail and give themselves a bunch of excuses about why not to be successful. They set goals. They don't really set them. They don't have the personal conviction. So they can't act with intent. They can't do things with a purpose. They can't move with a purpose. So I want to encourage you to research SMART goals. It's a fantastic guideline to setting SMART goals. And then think about the word intent. See one of my previous videos where we talked about intent. And intent is all about how you get it done. Imagine success. You see yourself, man, I could do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make that happen. I'm going to do it right now. Watch this. Now, I need to narrow my focus. In order for me to get this done, I need this to happen. All right, I'm going to do that. Bam, I'm rolling. Train my mind. I'm about to win this thing. You understand what I'm saying? Energize my body. You watch any major athlete anywhere in the world, you'll see that they eat well. They train their minds to win. They got a winning mentality. Tim Harrison talks a lot about this in our sales meeting. He talks about a winner's mentality. You know, and he drew a diagram, and on the X and the Y axis, what you saw was actual and mentality, winner and loser. And the purpose of the diagram was really to specify that you can have a winner mentality and win or lose. That can happen. I mean, that's real life. You can actually win or you can actually lose, but you give it a shot. When you play a basketball game, there will be a winner, there will be a loser. I mean, that's just the name of the game, but the more you try, the more wins you'll get out of that thing. But if you step over and check the box of the loser mentality, I can't do it. I don't think I can. This next sale is not going to happen. My children are not going to listen. I don't think I can make my wife and my husband, my boyfriend or girlfriend happy. I don't really believe in myself. I don't think I can make a difference. If all those things, you check that box, the likelihood that you will actually be a winner is greatly reduced. So it's important for you to understand setting those SMART goals and moving with the intent is what's going to move you forward. You got to start with the why, though. We talked about this a little while ago about building a vision board and putting it up. Put that thing up on the wall, man. Remind yourself every single day. I put a little quote on my wall right here. So you can have everything in life you want if you would just help enough other people get what they want. And that's Zig Ziglar quote. And I'm going to tell you, it is something that just resonates in my mind all the time. And when I heard it, I was like, dude, got to be on the wall. It's got to be on the wall. Let's get back to the comments real quick. One doesn't have to reinvent the wheel. Do the homework. Follow the path of success. It's been done before, not without hills and valleys. The successful path is narrow and rough, but attainable. Tim, man, you know what? I cannot agree with you more. Me and you had this conversation. I'm going to tell you, I had so many conversations with Tim Harrison at work, man, just deep, insightful conversation. And this is one of the things we talked about. A lot of times you go to work and you got a boss and you're in your manager's meeting. And in the manager's meeting, somebody says, I got it. I got a new rule. I got a new policy. I got a magic pill that'll fix all this stuff. And by the time they roll that thing out, I usually get a chance to ask them, did you see what policies are already in place? The reason why you setting new rules and new policies is simply because you don't know the old policy. You don't know what was supposed to happen. That's just people who are not adhering to those. So when we look at people not achieving their goals, I mean, you got to ask yourself, why are they not achieving the goals? Well, they don't know how to achieve them. So if you as a leader are not teaching your fellow, your peers how to achieve their goals, if you a manager not teaching your employees how to achieve their goals, simply setting them with them is making them depressed. They come to work just another old day, got no intent whatsoever to do anything other than just show up and punch the clock. And it's costing your company money. It is costing your company money. It's costing you headaches. It's costing family separations. It's causing depression at home. It is absolutely. Okay, not will. All right, go. Yeah. You got to reinvent the wheel. It doesn't have to reinvent. I know what you meant. That's all good. I know exactly what you meant. There's the grammatical correction. But the fact of the matter, it is important that you have to understand that if you're not moving with intent in it, if you're not working at achieving the goals, they ain't just going to happen for themselves. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You may have to reinvent the wheel. Hey, we're going to roll with that right there, Tim Harrison. We're going to reinvent the wheel. You got to have the will and the determination to drive and to push through and get it done. My friends all across the world, I want you to remain encouraged, but I want you to stay determined to be successful. It is without any doubt in my mind that if you don't have the personal conviction in your body that you can actually achieve goals that you set for your specific reason, then you will never achieve them. You'll be a loser for life. And that sounds harsh. And that'll probably hurt some feelings. But it's absolute truth. You can't keep checking the loser mentality box and expect to win. You're signing up to lose. And that ain't helping you or your family. I want you to ask yourself these last couple of questions. Who am I accountable to? Who am I responsible to do a fantastic job, to build myself up? And I don't care if it's a dog, a dad, a cousin, a grandma, somebody. You're accountable to somebody. And your everyday efforts have to represent your ability and your willingness. Your ability and your willingness to get out there and get it done. My friends all over, I am absolutely fantastically and excited about the time that we have spent together tonight. I know that this is not a long time, and it ain't got to be long. You can replay it as many times as you want to. I hope that I can continue to bring you some relevant information, some things that will serve you as a guide. Things that you can look back on and say, you know what, that made a lot of sense then, and it makes a lot of sense now. So thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me. You can certainly leave your comments below. All right, leave your comments below. Let me know tell me what you thought about the live thingy, whatever this is called. Tell me what you thought. I mean, did I talk too fast? Was I screaming at you too much? Did you not get anything out of it? Did you feel motivated? Did you write some stuff down? Because just like you, I have goals as well. And one of my goals is just to be on a platform somewhere so big that I can affect the masses, that I can encourage and coach through the masses. Maybe one day be at 1,000 dealerships and everybody knows my name, and everybody, when they see me coming, they know something good's about to happen. That's my goal. And I'm absolutely convinced, overwhelmingly convinced, that I have the talent, the tools, the materials, and the resources. It's going to take time. It's going to take energy and effort. And I'm committed to do it. I'm committed to do it for myself. I'm committed to do it for my family. And you have to find your own personal conviction. You got to sell yourself that you're good enough. And if you can't sell yourself, I promise you, you're selling yourself. You're just selling yourself short. And that ain't no fun. Hey, guys, this is your man Mace right here in the Macement. Thanks so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing all of you again. I'll be here next week. At 8 p.m. I'll send out some reminders. I hope I have something a little bit more inspirational. I think these things will get a little bit better as time goes. And again, please leave me some comments below. Follow me on Facebook. I love to see you there. If you got some good stories to tell, I like to get you on the show. I'll try to do some interviews with some people who have some good reputation, some people who can provide some good solid content for you, some good inspiration. Somebody you can somebody you can ask them some questions to that's going to give you some good answers that you may not normally have the resource to get in touch with. So I'll keep doing that. Y'all keep visiting me right here. I'm going to make this video right here available on YouTube at Macement Talks. Y'all stay strong, stay motivated. Let's get this thing rolling, man. Let's get him, Tevin. That's the plan, Tim. That's the plan, my man. I need your help, though. We in this thing together, buddy.